So why yoga?
As you mentioned, anxiety. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely started yoga. Well, because all the other guides in my job were, talking about yoga and doing yoga, and they were all really cool. So I wanted to check out yoga, and when I did, I sucked at it. I really sucked. I couldn't touch my toes. I thought it was awful. I couldn't, connecting the breath to the movement, and then looking around the room, seeing all these women just doing these amazing
Yeah.
things. I
Yep.
was like, this is insane. I mean, I was surrounded by other teachers, like I was surrounded by Instagram models, you know, and I felt like this is crazy. Anyway, but then I said, no, this is great for me. I feel good afterwards. I am getting stronger. I'm really, and another thing was I was taking power yoga classes. I wasn't just taking gentle classes where we were stretching and breathing. I was getting my ass handed to me. I was in a hot yoga studio, sweating, dripping, and then I took hot kettlebells, and that just raised the roof to my fitness level, and I got addicted. I said, this is amazing for my spiritual and physical being. I needed it.
I've never taken a hot kettlebell. I can't even imagine.
Dude, epic.
Yeah, that seems like that would break you pretty good. Like,
It was good. Yeah. So for
wow.
all of my, work in the field with my teenagers and camping for 8 days and living out of a backpack, going to yoga and just getting out what I was going. I also went through a really intense job change. I had a part of my life where I made a few decisions I probably shouldn't have. And we talked about those regrets. You asked me what decisions you would have made differently. Definitely would have made different decisions in Utah with that job change, and the relationship that I got into was not a wise decision. And I do look back on that often, and I just tell myself, if you didn't date that guy and you just stayed at that first job, where would you be now? I do wonder.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm glad that everything worked out the way it did. My journey, I would probably still be guiding in Utah. I might be, a head honcho in a company by now. Who knows? But it worked out the way it was meant to,
Yeah.
for sure.
I love that. Why do you think other people should take yoga?
Because you're going to live longer.
There you go. That's one way of selling it.
As I mentioned, the first step to yoga is breath, is the pranayama. Um, just learning to breathe. And you might think that's silly sounding. You breathe all day long. But actually, the different types of breath work that you can do, and what happens when you actually learn how to breathe with intention and control your breath, your life will change. We've talked about anxiety. We talked about not being able to control our anxiety. Again, when you learn how to breathe, this is yoga. So just learning that aspect of yoga will change your life. If you want to apply the asanas, and if you want to take a class and you want to do the poses and you want to connect your breath and your body movements, awesome. You're going to become physically stronger. You're going to work out the toxins in your body. You're going to every benefit of yoga is going to help you mentally, physically, and spiritually, which is why I practice. Growing up religious, I actually went to church Sunday morning, and I couldn't get over the similarities between my church service and my yoga classes. It's really, in essence, the flow of a church service. My Sunday morning is kind of how I teach a yoga class, minus the
Wow.
postures.
Yeah.
We have this song service opening, and then we have greeting each other. It's just the build and a way to place certain things. But anyway, that aside, I think everybody should do yoga, because when you learn how to breathe, you're cleansing your body, you're purifying it of all the toxins, right? Especially during COVID. I had COVID, and I was only very, very mildly sick. And I tell people I'm pretty sure that I wasn't affected as severely as those around me, because I deep breathe. I breathe
Yeah.
into my lungs, where they say that the sickness sits and settles.
Yeah.
So by breathing into your lungs and cleansing your lungs, you're actually purifying your body and getting rid of the sickness. So every day I did yoga and I did my deep breathing.
No.
So yeah, I really wasn't, didn't have too bad of a, as bad as other people, I guess, when I was sick. But and I recovered really quickly. So again, why should you do yoga? you're going to live longer. You're going to learn how to breathe. Your anxiety is going to go from, wherever it is down a million notches just after one class. Hopefully, if you practice with awareness. And then awareness, right? So learning awareness, you can apply this to every part of your life. And the control that awareness brings is just empowering. So yoga will help with all of that. And you'll get fit.
Agree on that one. What do you say to, individuals that have the same thought process as your parents, for instance, as far as the stigma? Do you have something that you say to people who kind of question that? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, for me, I like to tell people yoga isn't meditation, and meditation isn't what you think. There's a lot of meditation tied to it, but I like to call it calming the monkey mind, right? So if you're somebody who struggles with thoughts you can't control, yoga is a tool to help the thoughts that are jumping from branch to branch to branch all day long. Yoga is going to help give that monkey something to do, something to concentrate on. You're not worshiping anything. You're simply learning awareness. You're learning to be in the present moment, and you're connecting your body with that awareness. So if you have hesitations, and that's what I told my grandparents, I said, you can worship God if you want during yoga. If you want to meditate and you want to think on praise Jesus while you're learning how to breathe and learning how to move your body, great. But what you're doing is, being in the moment. And that's what's beautiful about yoga.
I love that. Absolutely.